Greetings, VC. Andy here again, spring is sprung, and we've had quite here in southern England. We've had quite a lot of nice sunny days, so I thought I'd take the opportunity of doing it in here with lots of natural light. This is the second in this little series I started of looking at my 10 favourite albums from a particular genre, and today we're talking about art rock. I'll come back to what the hell is art rock in a second. So again, as I say, I'm going to run through 10. I've deliberately now, I've not done any duplicates, so these are 10 different bands and artists. Plus, of course, I'm going to have a live album. So, you know, once I've run through my 10, I'm going to pick my favourite live album, which gets me a chance to get another band in there. And a few honourable mentions. So hang around to the end. I'm going to whiz through. First of all, art rock, what the hell is it? Well, it's sort of, to me, I'm not even convinced it's really a genre, but we call it a genre. It's really a sort of grouping of bands and artists which are a bit arty. I think they're you know, some of these might be considered prog, but they're not really. I think they're sort of prog-ish, but this is much more song-based, closer to pop, really, and clever lyrics, cleverly written. You know, so they're all a little bit arty. So I'm going to run through my 10 very quickly, and then we'll look at the honourable mentions and the live one. So stay around for the end. And I'm going to start with a CD. I was convinced I got this on vinyl, but I can't find it anywhere. So number 10 coming in is Blur and their eponymous fifth album, their self-titled fifth album, Blur, which came out in 1997. Now you might be saying, Blur, are they art rock? I thought they were Britpop. Well, with this album, as I say, it's their fifth, they left Britpop well behind. This really, I mean, they've always been arty, haven't they? But this one is not remotely Britpop. It's moved it way forward. Beetlebone, Song 2, on your theme from Retro, absolutely, you know, Death of a Party, Chinese Bot. It's a superb album. To me, it's their best album. Absolutely love it, and I don't know what I've done with my vinyl one, if I've actually got one, but this is my original CD. Coming in at number 9, this is a band who are incredibly influential, and this is their final album, and I'm talking Talk Talk and Laughing Stock, which came out in 1991, their fifth and last. This really is the second album where they had totally moved away and started inventing a new style of music, really. I mean, a lot of people say this and the previous one, Spirit of Eden, were the first post-rock albums. I think it's more sort of proto-post-rock and you know, a little bit proggy as well. Absolutely superb, incredible. I mean, and you know, they have so far left synth pop. You know, they started a bit of synth pop. Never, Mark Hollis, I don't think was ever comfortable as in synth pop, and this is experimental. It's, if you like this sort of thing, it is wonderful. It's just so clever and quite a bit arty. Coming in now at number 8. Now, a lot of people, this won't be their choice, and also, you know, why only number 8? Because I'm talking about David Bowie. And I'm picking out of his huge discography, Scary Monsters, which came out in 1980. Well, by then it was already his 14th studio album. I loved this when it came out. I always liked David Bowie, but he was never sort of up there at the top. When I split up from my first wife, I left all the Bowie records with her. This is actually my second wife, Marion's record, but it was one which I really enjoyed. You know, I like Low, but I prefer Hero. So you know, me and Bowie have a mixed one, and I like Hunky Dory, but I don't have it any longer. And I like Ziggy Stardust, but you know, again, I think this is the one I like most, and Ashes to Ashes, just, you know, scary monsters, great fripp guitar going on. I remember the video of not Ashes to Ashes, which was it? Yeah, it was Ashes to Ashes, wasn't it? When they were on a beach with a bulldozer. Absolutely brilliant album. So that's my Bowie choice, and this is an original, and I left an original with my first wife as well. Coming in at number 7, and R.E.M. And this is my sort of, depends what mood I'm in, but this is a more arty than Automatic for the People, and it's New Adventures in Hi-Fi, which came out in 1996. It's their 10th album, and I loved it. I remember when it came out, just absolutely adored it. Ebo the Letter, I think, is magnificent. You know, Binky the Doormat Zither. It's just Electrolyte, just a superb album all round, and quite arty, I think. And talking about arty, coming in at number 6, we've got Roxy Music and their second album, For Your Pleasure, which came out in 1973. This was the last, because he was only on 2, of course, the last of with Brian Eno in it, and just a superb album. Quite. I mean, I love. I mean, do the Strand, obviously, and the slightly creepy For Every Dream Home Night. What was it? For Every Dream Home Night. I can't remember what it's called. Great record and proper arty. Let's face it. Number 5, a band who are more often than not classed as prog, but this I think is their least proggy and most pop album, and a lot of people's least favourite because it's a bit poppy, and it's Supertramp, Crime of the Century, and this is proper art rock, but of a pop nature. So some great, you know, Bloody Well Right. Yes, it's a great pop song. Dreamer, so, you know, Skull. It's just. Davies and Hodgson were just such brilliant songwriters, and superb album. And number 4, we have coming in, this has got one of, in my opinion, one of the great prog songs on it, from not really a prog band. And I'm talking Queen and A Night at the Opera, and of course Bohemian Rhapsody. That's about as prog as you can get. But this is art rock, isn't it? It's got such a, you know, Death on Two Legs, Lazing on a Sunday Afternoon, I'm in Love with My Car, Prophet song, Love of My Life, wonderful song, Bohemian Rhapsody, and finishing with God Save the Queen. Absolutely superb album. Not everyone's favourite because it's very poppy, but I love it. I have done since 1975 when got this. So now I'm expecting the next ones to, particularly the where they are on there, to cause a bit of challenge maybe. But these are my favourites. And number 3, I'm coming in with Peter Gabriel and his eponymous debut. So in fact, all 4 of his first albums were just called Peter Gabriel, so commonly known as PG1. You know, this is my original on the famous Charisma label. Absolutely adored it. Now, I was really into Genesis, and but when Gabriel left it, not interested any longer. This I remember coming out, an absolutely superb album. It's all killer to me. I absolutely love it. I still play it quite often, and I actually saw him on when he toured this, and he was still quite theatrical, but without so much of the costumes. And 25 years later, after this, when I met my second wife, Marion, and current wife, Marion, it turns out we both went to that concert. I was in the stalls and she was in the circle, and Gabriel appeared behind her. And I actually remember he sort of, part of the theatrics, he disappeared off the stage somewhere and suddenly appeared in the balcony or the circle. So wonderful album. And coming in at number two, and I consider one of the greatest art rock bands, and I've been challenged before. They're not art rock. No, well, what the hell is, but I think they are. And it's 10cc, and their third album, which came out in 1975, called The Original Soundtrack, and it's got my favourite single, chart single of all time on it. I'm Not in Love, because I was at the time. It still brings a tear to my eyes. Absolutely beautiful. Love it. But the whole record is great, and they are just so clever. You know, they're such a clever band, and it's a shame they only really lasted one more before they sort of split up. I mean, obviously 10cc have carried on to this day, but not with the full lineup. So great album. Number one. Well, it's got to be another band which is very much on the proggy side of art rock, and I think that's Radiohead. And I am denied them, and they've got so many great albums I could have picked, but I think this is the most important one in a lot of ways. OK Computer, their third album in 1997, because this changed everything. Again, talking influential, they moved on, but everything else moved on as well. We sort of a Britpop and long gone. They were never a Britpop band anyway, but here they became not just a guitar band. An absolutely stupendous record, still to this day. This one, I had obviously had it on CD originally in the 90s. This was the 20-year anniversary one with loads and loads of extras on it. So now, stay with me, because this is now the best live album, and I'm going, because I wanted to include this band anyway, and I'm going with Bebop Deluxe, Live in the Air Age. Now, this album originally came out in 1977, and it was recorded, I can't remember where, I think it was Leicester or somewhere like that, and it was a shortish one, a single LP, plus an EP, a 7-inch EP in it. Always brilliant, because I actually saw them on the tour of this, and it was one of the best concerts I've ever been to. But not that long ago, a few years ago, this one came out, and it was from the same tour, but it was recorded at Hammersmith Odeon in 1977, and this one is a full triple of the whole concert, and absolutely superb. And it finishes, the whole of side 6 is Blazing Apostles with one of the best guitar solos, which goes on for about 15 minutes. I've heard this is probably my favourite live album that I have of any band. It's that good. Okay, quick honourable mentions. So this one is a sort of, I could have included it live, but is it live or is it really a soundtrack? And Talking Heads, it's the only Talking Heads album I've got, but it's sort of almost the best of. It's obviously, it was a film recorded of them playing live, so it's sort of both of those things. But this superb. And proper art rock, another CD. I've never had this on vinyl, but it's Lou Reed, Transformer, a great album. Though, it's only an honourable mention to me because I don't find it all killer. It's quite mixed in there. Some absolutely stupendous tracks on there, but another one which I just don't listen to it often enough. I really love it. The Doors, LA Woman, absolutely superb album, everyone knows it. Now, I've got 3 here, which I think are absolutely magnificent, but they're quite recent, so they're not sort of going to make my best of, because I've not lived with them long enough. And this one was just from last year. These New Puritans and Crooked Wing, absolutely superb. And I actually had this as number 3 when I did my year end, but I think in hindsight, it's really my number 1. I should have had this as number 1 because I just think it's such a magnificent record. And then from, I can't remember when, not so long ago, 2022, Black Country New Road. And ants from up there. The last signed I.W. Isaac Woods left the band on the eve of this being released, which is such a shame because it was absolutely superb album. Finally, one which I think again is very proggy, but very arty as well, and that's Black Midi, and this is their second album, I think. Is it second or third? Second, I'm sure. Cavalcade, which I think is their best. You know, John L. starts off with John L., John 50, Marlene Dietrich. I mean, it's a bit bonkers and balmy with Geordie Greep on vocals, but a great one. So there we go, quick whiz through what I think is art rock. You may or may not agree, and I'm happy put them in. Put the challenges in the comments, and I'll be back with I haven't quite decided which the next one's going to be, but I'll be back with another genre soon. So thanks for watching. Cheers.